The one thing, the one thing I seem to hate about life is that tomorrow morning I'll look at this video, this very video, and think, it's not that deep, Shreya. It's really not that deep. And yet, today, the flood of emotions that I'm feeling is through the roof. Your head is so crazy sometimes. And the fact that I come to this bit all the time. Like the good moments of my life, I don't even know how to define good because it's so fleeting. It's so fleeting. And the moments like today, I seem to remember it way more lively and distinctly than all the happy moments all the happy moments I should state it over and over and over again to myself that I'm happy today. I'm happy today. I have to say this to myself over and over again to convince myself the state of happiness. And life really is not that deep. You really shouldn't be taking yourself too seriously. But now at this moment, I just feel stuck, worthless. And the fact that after giving up on something on your, I wouldn't even want to call it a dream, because it's not a dream. It's you. Dreams, goals are are not a real thing because you're not living in the present. You're just living for the sake of future. You're not living the journey. Like what's even the point of journey? You get to the top and then you look back at the journey, and then only you would think that these were the days. But say you don't make it to the top, so you are left in a very dark tunnel with no light. You cannot see the end of it. You're just there wondering what is the ultimate thing that would happen with me. But the very thing that you are doing today, tomorrow, the day after, and the day after is going to define where you will end up whilst you are still in that dark tunnel. And you're only allowed to take one step at a time, not more than one step, just one step, not less than one step. I mean, you can take less than one step. One step, one day. You're not allowed more than a day. You're not even allowed less than a day. So, it's fair. It's fair. It's fair to everybody. The only thing that's unfair in this world is money. And as you grow old, you look around, you start seeing money in every single thing. Every single thing. And you can't tell if you are in the wrong to think like that, to think about money. Like yesterday, just yesterday, I was talking this with my friends. Okay, it was late at night, and we were out for dinner, so we had to come back. So we booked an auto on the app. Okay, and as per the app, you are supposed to the app ensures that the drivers don't overcharge. We booked an auto, and the driver, he called us and he asked ki, like I it- it's would you be okay to pay extra than what's showing, extra than the amount that's showing on the app. And this man who is calling will do it to everybody else, because for one, he knows that we are women calling and it's late in the night. We do not have a transport. We would have to reach home safely. So this is how his business works, that everybody whom he calls, he can ask them extra. But as part of the rules in the app, you are supposed to report people, or report a driver, report whoever who asks extra. So as per the, like I was telling this to my friends ki, people don't do honest work these days. They take advantage of your situations, and in this situation, they are taking advantage ki, we are women and it's about our safety. And then my friend put forth a fact that, in the end, they're doing it to feed themselves and their family. So, in their lens, they really aren't in the wrong. Really aren't in the wrong. They're doing this so that they'll feed their children. In the end, it's all about food, shelter, your loved ones. And if you have some extra money to spare, your kids will live a comfortable life. That is it. I then I felt that maybe it is wrong for me to assume that he was taking advantage of our vulnerability, because at the end of the day, I know the feeling of what hunger is like. Hunger in the sense, like, literal meaning of hunger. You haven't eaten food for days on end, and then you're just so hungry. But I can do it on purpose. I can stay hungry, I can fast. Fancier word for staying hungry. I can fast because I want to. But some people are forced to stay hungry because they can't afford food. And that is the situation. And I, as I'm growing up, things like these, that you start seeing everything, and then you just justify every, I wouldn't say wrong. I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't put it exclusively in the wrong category. But little unfair things, you start justifying it because at the end of the day, people do it for money. And money really is everything, is everything. I am what I am today. The fact that I can articulate to this extent and I can communicate, I have the means to be safe under a roof, eat food well over 3 times, as many times as I want in a day. I can eat 100 times or even more if I want in a day, and nobody would stop me. They'll be little concerned, of course, if I'm eating that much, but they wouldn't necessarily stop me. Like, I can afford that much of food. I am not earning a single rupees. I am not earning a single rupee. Everything, I am 21 years old. My mom still provides for me. And I live in a very nice place with food, with shelter. I am training to become a doctor. I can afford everything. I can afford the books. I am recording on an iPhone. I have an iPad. I Everything that I have is above average quality. I mean, even the best quality that there is. I've taken Maro subscription because I don't listen to the classes. Let on top, add the college fees. It's everything just is money, and I have a gym membership. I can afford a gym membership. There are people who would love to go to the gym, love to learn new sports, new hobbies, but to them, the only limiting factor is money. But for people like me, the only limiting factor is my head. How fucked up is that? Because I'll tell you, for the past month or so, I believe, I am dreading to go to gym. Okay, and if you've seen my page, if you have seen my reels, it's a gym account. I love I love gym. I mean, at least I used to. Now I've fallen out of it, fallen out, fallen out of love of the gym, that I it feels torture to me to get myself to gym. And I don't know, I feel heavy. I feel bloated, heavy, puffy. I don't like the body that I have right now. I don't like the extra inches of fat that's on my body. And I'm reading this book on nutrition, and it's a very good book. It's called Ultra Metabolism. I don't know the author, but the book name is Ultra Metabolism, and single-handedly that has been the best book that I've ever read to understand more about the food that we eat, the nutrition that we should be paying attention, and not fall for like quick fixes or whatever the propaganda that social media is promoting. And via all this, I have the information, I have the means, but it's just my head for the past few days. It's just my head. It's my head that doesn't want to do the work, that doesn't want to go there and to add on to that, I have allergic asthma. Like, it had been diagnosed in the past, and I was on medication for the same. And now, i- since it's winter, my allergies have flared up, fully flared up. My nose, for the past 6 months, I believe, my nose is half blocked. Either like both the nostrils like aren't open at the same time. It's always either one nose is blocked or the other side is blocked, and it keeps fluctuating. That's how you know de- it's not deviated septum. Uh, and then I like inhaling is very difficult for me, and that too when I'm exercising. It's like there's so much of friction. All my accessory muscles are working for me just to take a full deep breath. I can't do that. And when I'm exercising, this adds on to the fact that I don't want to exercise, that I can't physically breathe properly. And to add on to that, I haven't gotten my period since 2 months. I know the first thing that everybody suspects with amenorrhea is pregnancy, but if you haven't engaged in the act, there's no chance you can get pregnant. So that's how I know that, I am not pregnant at all. Uh, I mean, there's no way. There's just no way. And I don't know. The fact that I haven't gotten my period for 2 months, it's just like mentally, psychologically messing with me. That, why, what is happening? What is happening? And I have noticed a cycle that just before my period in my luteal phase, I hoard onto food. My energy level drops, and I this exact feeling of me feeling chubby creeps in during that luteal phase. So like I'm confused ki my cycle isn't regular. I can't track properly whatever the thing is. And genuinely, I feel like at this point, if I didn't know so much about biology, I think I would be somewhat at peace with in my own head. I I just know too much of information, and that too from unverified sources more than verified sources. So you just don't know what you would want to believe in, because there are billions of people, everybody telling you very different things, and then researchers aren't accurate. So, like, what exactly should you believe in? And I know this video, for whoever that is watching till now, what are you doing with your life? Why are you watching me? You have better people to watch. Go watch better people. I am Rondu little bit. I cry all the time. That is me. That is how I process things. I cry, I make a video about it, because the next day I will laugh. I will be looking at myself and laughing ki, what the fuck was I on? Why was I so serious here and all that stuff? I know it, it's just that I don't want to get back on schedule tomorrow. Is this what they call burnout? I don't know. Possibly this could be, but everything is made up. You realize that, right? Burnout, psychology, this, that, whatever, everything is made up. And until the other is proved otherwise, that is what we believe in. Science has advanced so much, technology, everything is advanced so much, we say, but we don't know the last stage of advancement, do we? And in the last stage of advancement, things are going to be a lot different, and a lot of things that exist right now would be proved inaccurate, would be disproved. So how do you know the things that you believe in so much right now are true? You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe from my heart that luteal phase is real, but what if it just isn't? What if I'm just thinking that I am at an all-time low mood, so hence I am a low mood? What if all along whatever you think is the fact that is happening to you, and that's it, period? So think nicer things to yourself. Maybe that is all that is. And I was emotional. Like, I started out crying primarily because of the fact that I've fallen out of love from the gym. Gym was my only personality, to be honest. And I don't have much muscles now. I my muscles have kind of atrophied. I've gained a little weight. I don't know. The scale On the scale, I've gained just 1 kg since 4 5 years. I've just gained 1 kg as of right now. But look at my head, how much it's eating me up. I was crying because of the fact that so much of my relationships are based because, or like, based in and around the fact that I go to the gym, and I encourage people to go to the gym as well. And because of me, they have enrolled themselves in the gym. I've seen a very close friend of mine. He was literally 45 kgs. Now bro is 73 kgs. So, and I was the one he was inspired from, and he still tells me he started going to the gym because of me. So, like, stuff like this, like, and now he has put on like a good muscle mass. And his journey, just his journey, and he is now extremely passionate about gym, like crazily passionate about gym. And he reminds me of myself 2 years ago. I've outgrown my old self, and now I am just in this conflict with myself that gym is good for you. But at this point, I'm doing gym because of the fact that it doesn't give me joy, it just calms me. You should do gym, everybody needs the gym, so I am doing my part. Earlier, I used to feel extraordinary because I go to the gym, and obesity is the new epidemic. I used to feel I was a narcissist back then. Ki, oh my god, look at muscles on a girl, on a woman. Wow, I am great. I must be great. I must be so disciplined, doing something out of the ordinary. Now I've just grown up, gotten more. My cortex has gotten a little more developed. That is it. And now nobody gives a flying fuck if you go to the gym, if you have muscles or not. Nobody. It might help you to initially reach out and make friends, and there can be opportunities, a lot of them. But what are you going to do with those opportunities? At the end, life is life. Whatever you're feeling here is all that matters. If you're fucked in here, that's why the brand psychiatry exists. So don't be fucked in here. Why would you want psychiatric help? Just save yourself. I can feel myself falling into this mental trap ki, I am just a shit. I not worthy of anything. But then I stop myself there and be like, who are telling all of this? Who is telling my head I am not worthy of stuff? In fact, I am. Because I say I am. That is my only logical reasoning. You can always interrupt your workflow or your bad day and be like, no, you know what? Only thing you have to say it out loud to your own self. Okay, you know what? I am not a victim to my head, to my negative thoughts, to my negativity. I am not a victim. Fuck you. Fuck you for making me feel this way and making me dread in that cycle of feeling this way for days on end. One day you eventually have to recover because suicide is not an option. Gosh, suicide is never an option. Your mom in your house loves you. People are expecting you. People love you. You have everything. Everything. Food, shelter, resource resources to better yourselves, to a future to look ahead to. You're not hopeless. Hope is a very big word. You're not hopeless. Your future has some hope. You're gonna be a doctor, god damn it. You're gonna be a doctor, Shreya. How can you feel sad about the fact that you have so much to study? Of course, you have so much to study. What do you mean? You came into this. And it's such a privilege to also to study. And my only job, and I say only job, is to study. Nobody's expecting me to provide for them. Nobody's expecting me to earn right now, right this second. My family का घर isn't like घर नहीं चलता है मेरी वजह से. They are capable, fully capable themselves to earn for the house, to earn for me, to earn for everything that I do, my brothers do, that like more than capable actually. I come from a very affluent family, so I am only expected to study, that too for my own sake, that too that when my family is not there anymore, I can look after myself. That's why I have to be educated. That's why, and I have to be educated to make money. You see the cycle. See the cycle. How everything circles back to money, and money is a made up concept of humans only, of you, me only, and they have been following since generations on end. So like nobody now questions why things are like that. At least I don't question why things are like that. I just chumma follow it. I question what is the right way to follow it, even. I don't question why it's like that. I question the right way to follow it because I want to follow it, because I consider myself dumb to come up with anything new. I would rather follow it than question it. And maybe that's what the education system has taught me. The education system, again, if you look at the history, the British invaded India, and so schools, so and so system had set up, and that's why now that's the thing that is still being followed because it's convenient. It's very convenient. I don't know what's the point of this video, but at least I'm happy now after talking my heart out for half an hour. And this is it. I am not a victim to my negative thoughts. Like my life. I like the fact that I'm doing all of this stuff and doing the only stuff that I love doing. Have the privilege of that. So I started off crying, but I'm ending this with a smile because I am happy now. Why? Because I said so. I said so that I'm happy, and that is why I am happy.